I'd like to welcome to the podcast Laurie Singer, who is an American actress, well known for many films, and is coming out east now to participate in the Artist Writers Game. Do you visit or do you have a place out here too?
I have had places out in the Hamptons, and I love it. I love particularly East Hampton. I keep my pictures of East Hampton always around. And I was out there actually during this. I was fortunate enough to be there during this terrible pandemic. I was sort of cordoned off in an area that was, quite isolated, and it's always so beautiful there that it's just it's amazing, and I love being out there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, at the moment I don't own a house, but I have, and I do love it. And I have many friends that do have houses, and they're usually very.
You were born in Texas, and how long were you there before you moved away?
I love Texas, and I feel like every place that I've lived is in me. Like I feel like I carry the places with me. And Texas, I was there for about 4 years, 5 years, and I still have family in Dallas. And we used to go back every summer for 2 months to visit in Dallas. So I love Texas, and I feel very connected to the land and the people in a certain way.
Yep. How did you
Where
come?
are you from, Dan?
What?
Where are you from?
I'm from Millburn, New Jersey. It's a suburb of New York City,
Yes.
sort of like Great Neck.
Yes.
But I moved out here when I was a teenager, so I was so stunned by how beautiful it was.
Yes.
I said, here's where I want to stay.
You know, it's a funny thing. I remember the first time that I went to Paris, and I was I think 19, and I got off the plane, and the light immediately struck me, because my whole life, of course, I loved the Impressionists, Monet, Manet, Cézanne, and I knew immediately why all these great painters were drawn to East Hampton, because the light is so amazing. It's gentle, and soft, gentle.
I lived in Aix for about 4 months, Aix-en-Provence.
Oh, yes.
It was Cézanne's country, and it had the same quality. I said, this is like home. I know why they came. I also felt the same thing.
It's just, the light itself has a feeling, and it bathes you in a certain kind of aura that's unusual. And
I think there's a particular spot for it where it really comes through strong, and it's on Springs Fireplace Road, heading up past the country store.
Mhm.
And somehow it's like this fantasy from some fairy movie or something. It goes up for only about a mile, and then it kind of, I don't know where it goes, but it goes somewhere.
Do you want to tell us more about that fantasy, Dan? Or you want to share here?
It's like a Disney movie, I guess, or it's more like just a gentle, it's almost like getting a massage. You go up there and you lie down or you sit in the grass, and it's just this dome of soft, that's why I use that word. I really love it up there. I was going to buy some property up there, but I never did.
Do you have some kind of hidden treasure map to this location?
Yeah, it's up past Barnes Store. You remember where that is?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
It's up Springs Fireplace Road, just past the Ashwa Hall, going away north.
Yes.
Next time you're out,
Yeah.
take a ride up there. You'll see it.
Yeah, I will. I hope this weekend. I found the same feeling. And also, of course, at Magic Hour, the light is amazing, but just in general, also over Georgica Pond, early in the morning and late at night, there's a very special feeling there, and it's just, you can stand there for hours. It's just so beautiful.
So you became an actress, but were you tempted to become? I know you became a concert cellist, was it? And why you could have kept it going with that career. So how did that? Well, look, there's your friend.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was let me see. I don't even know how to answer that. But you say tempted. I've been tempted by many things, and maybe that's why I chose acting, because it allows you perspective. It allows you to step into a different persona and carry and have a different view that's very powerful. And I find the same with music. You know, the disciplines are different, but it's all in the arts. Every art gives to the other. Every film that I do, I choose a different composer, a different choice of style of music that inspires me. I choose a different book to be reading at that time and to enhance the character, what they would be doing. And I try and live it as full as I can of those 8 weeks of filming, and hopefully the month or so leading up to it, at least, hopefully more preparation. But just the idea of stepping into that fantasy to me was so alluring, and I worked very hard at it, and was fortunate enough to have a lucky opportunity, and I took it.
Has there been a character that you found harder to become than others from any of the movies?
Well, most of them, I think there's sort of, if you don't feel that you can bring something that's to live truthfully in that being, if you don't feel you can step inside of that, then I don't think it's a good fit. And so far, I kind of can get lost kind of easily in my roles. That's sort of the fun of it, and the danger.
Do people not
That's
know?
another story. So, maybe some other time we'll talk about that, Dan. But yeah, so so that's the beauty of it. Music is like my religion. I grew up with it. My father was a conductor from Europe. He came to Ellis Island. And my mother was an amazing pianist from Texas. And so I carry both as best I can of their disciplines with me as best I can. And they're both great artists.
You've been playing in the Artist Raiders game for many years.
Yep.
And do you step into a role for that, or is that? And also, I wanted to ask you of things that have happened during those years that you could, if you remember any highlights of the game. The game is going to be on August 21 in Herrick Park behind the Stop and Shop. Used to be Bohacks and some other place, A&P.
A&P, yeah, I remember it as the A&P.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. But what do you remember as from the game?
Oh, well, it's such a magical game, baseball itself, and so timeless and so ephemeral in some ways. And it's just an amazing game because you can play anytime you step on a baseball field. If you have the fortune of having played it when you were little, all the feelings rush back to you of being that 9-year-old or 11-year-old or 13-year-old, and all the dreams that you can get a hit and that you'll be on base and you'll somehow score, and everyone will be together, and your teammates will be all doing, playing their best, and just all the excitement of baseball sort of fills you up the moment you step on the grass.
What position do you play?
I used to play every Saturday and sometimes every Sunday in Sag Harbor, with the most of the players that also play in the Artist Riders game, with Mort Zuckerman pitching, Leaf Hope pitching, Roy Scheider. We had so many players: Ken Aletta, Carl Bernstein, just Walter Isaacson, just the Sokolow family, Mel and Diane and Alex and Sam and Betsy. Debbie McEnany, Kevin McEnany, John Scanlon, Art Eisenberg, Steve Schwartz. I don't know. I could just name, so many people. David, who would play catcher. Just a lot of people. It was an amazing game, and sometimes, at least a couple of times, Kurt Vonnegut dropped by, and that was a thrill. And if you were lucky, he said something to you. because sometimes you might get a hit and play especially well because he was watching. And it was just a great game. It was high spirits. It was wild witticisms. And the only thing, you know, all the witticisms were faster than the pitches sometimes. I mean, it was just crazy. And it was so funny. And there was also a bit of rivalry in the sense that whatever would have happened politically in New York City or Boston, as we were close to Boston because of Mort also. So anything that would happen in the news, if there was any kind of a disagreement, that disagreement would definitely, whether spoken or unspoken, but without doubt, at least a few beaux mots would be thrown across the field. So there was always a heightened sense of whatever happened to any of these people playing, they would carry it onto the field, and you know, someone would especially want to catch someone's hit, and someone else would be rather ferociously trying to tag someone out, and you know, and on some days everyone would be particularly gentle with someone because they'd had a hard week. It was really imbued with humanity, you know, and artistry also, because we had the cool thing about baseball is that it's also such an individualistic sport. You're standing in the field and you may not even touch the ball. I mean, the entire game, it's conceivable that you could stand out there and not touch the ball the entire game, except when you bat it, you know, and then you don't actually touch it, the bat touches the ball. So it's just, the whole game is so much a game of chance, a game of thought, a game of strategy, a game of relying on your teammates. And that's what we all had. It felt like family. And for those 2 hours, all problems evaporated, all real politics evaporated. And it was just sheer, you know, kind of, I don't know what to say, really a party, a game, you know, a game of sort of intense proportions.
I remember a play that you were involved with that
Yeah. Yeah, I know that play.
You weren't playing in the game. You were sitting on the grass on the first base side. Do you remember this?
Well,
I'll tell it to you.
Yes, I do remember. I know exactly what happened. My version is slightly different though. So so go ahead if you want to tell your version.
Right, I'll tell it to you, and then you can correct me, because I was umpiring behind the pitcher.
Listen,
and what
there's
happened?
always an umpire.
What?
I said there's always an umpire, you know?
Yes, I know. Well, that's why I remember it for the most part. But I also thought at the time, you did something really smart on the spur of the moment while you were not even playing. What happened was somebody hit a little foul ball low, fairly low, to 10 feet up, midway down the first baseline. And it was going to come down in the grass where some spectators were sitting. And the man who hit the ball, I think it was Carl Bernstein, but I'm not sure. He started down toward first base, and you were playing for the other team and were sitting in the grass. And I didn't notice you at all because I was watching the ball to see if it was going to be foul or fair. And it came down into this crowd. And George Plimpton, who was at first base, wandered over to get under it. And he's looking up at it, not paying any attention. People are getting out of his way because they could get stepped on. And as the ball comes into his mitt, somebody, I can't imagine who, leaps up and pushes the ball out of his hand so that it is not an out, which I think had some significance in the game, which I don't recall, but it might have meant the whole game, and knocked it away so that it was somewhere between the last out and interference, but could also be considered just a foul ball, which is what in fact I initially called it. Now you remember this. Correct me if I remembered any part of it wrong, and move that hat away so we can see.
I'll take the fifth. No, listen. Okay, this is my perspective. It was a beautiful day. There was a very gentle breeze coming in from left field. It was just the grass smelled so sweet. and we were playing beautifully, and we were a little bit down in the game, but suddenly someone comes up to bat. I'm sitting on the sidelines, and I realize these people are very close to the first baseline. Like, this
Yes.
is really, y'all should move back. But there was such an excitement to be part of this game. And Roy Scheider would sit on the side, and Paul Simon, I hear, was also sometimes there. I never played when he was in the game, but all these, people would come and sit there and talk to the crowd. It's a very convivial, just a lovely, lovely atmosphere, lovely feeling of the game on the sidelines. And so I was sitting there, and there was a woman with a baby sitting right next to me. And suddenly there's a tremendous hit, so high, so high. It was just really a very high pop-up. I mean, intense. But it also had a tremendous backspin, because I think it might have been Mort spinning, pitching, and he puts a big backspin on the ball. So I was looking up, and suddenly this woman with the baby was looking away, and I thought, this is really like, I have to take action here. And the ball was coming
Save a
down.
life.
And so what I did was, it was really very high coming down. All I did was right away move to my left, which is where she was actually. And it wasn't to my right, it was to my left, and first base was over here. So I was actually moving away from first base, and I put my hand out to stop it, and someone was standing over me, kind of, but not really. Someone was sort of coming in that direction, and I merely blocked it from hitting really right her and her baby like this. Suddenly there's a tremendous outroar, both benches empty, everyone's on the field. The next thing I know, and I was thinking, like, all I did was try and save this woman's baby from being hit in the face. And suddenly now it's a legendary play for the other team. So that's my story.
I overestimated you.
And I'm telling you, I'm sticking to it. So
I overestimated you. I thought you were trying to win the game. Well, it's a great game. Did you see the picture of the mascot we have coming?
Oh, wonderful mascot.
It's a
Amazing mascot. Yes.
Typhoon Clover
Yes.
that I got from China.
Ah,
And I was worried it wouldn't come in time, because they said it would come. I ordered it in June, and they said it would come between August 1 and August 15. I said, that's pretty close to the game, which is August 21. And so I spent the extra $20 for expedited shipping. And then I watched, and people are angry on the Chinese side, and people are angry on the American side. I figure at any moment, the steel wall will come down, and nothing will come from China anymore, including our 7-foot mascot. And then it arrived.
oh, it's wonderful.
And so we have it. I took some pictures of it with one of my sons was wearing it.
Okay, that's
So
very cool.
that's going to be at the game.
Yes.
But that's part of what it's going to be, and it'll be good to see you there. Tell me, we have a few minutes left. Tell me what you were just finished up with and doing, if you can, because some of this stuff always stays secret.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's happening. But I just worked on a film, a very interesting film. With Victor Nunez, who is an amazing director. He did Flash of Green and Uli's Gold and Ruby in Paradise. And he really is a sort of a visionary director and does it all. He wrote, he directed, he's editing, he shot, he even was a cinematographer for this film. And it's very much his vision. And I play a writer that's has some struggles. And at the end of the movie, it's a very beautiful story. At the end of the movie, she sort of comes into her own in a very sort of rather enigmatic way. And he's a wonderful director.
So you're just coming down from that. Are you
Yes.
in that character
I
right?
have all my bags here. Actually, nothing's unpacked. I have,
Are you in that character right now?
What? No, I'm not. I suppose
every Laurie Singer.
Yeah, I suppose everything has an influence on you. Certainly every role I've ever played has made an amazing impact on my real life. If there is a real life, it's had an amazing impact.
Yeah, maybe that's just what we play. Yeah, that can go on and on.
Yeah.
It's just we play our lives.
Yes.
Well, thank you
the
for coming.
myriad of faces we present, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure. I always look forward to seeing you at the game. You're an amazing
I'll be there
part
and
of the game. Yeah. And I hope I get a hit. I know that I'm very proud of my playing the last 2 years, not 20, but not because of the pandemic. And thank you again to all the first responders and heroic people that helped keep everyone as safe as possible. And the doctors that found the vaccine is amazing. Heroism going on now. Yeah, I was just going to say I had a good two years. I got a hit in 2018 to right, and I got a hit in 2019 to left. And so I guess you can guess where I'm aiming this year to try and get a hit. But so we'll see what happens. But hopefully I'll be in good playing shape. I won't be on the IL. Yeah, is it the IL? Yeah, it's the IL, right?
what's that? The Independent League?
No, the injured list, like
Oh, no, you're not on the.
like Aaron Judge. I gotta be sure not to get on the IL. So.
Well, I'm talking to Lori Singer, and I thank you again for coming. And I'll see you then.
See you
Bye.
then. Bye.